I put the wrong address in for a package I was getting on Amazon. I usually don't get upset about things like that, but man, that really did get to me. So it's something little, I'm going to get over it. But minor inconveniences like that are never fun. Because you look at it and, you wanted it to just come to your doorstep. You wanted everything to be, butterflies and rainbows, but sometimes it's lakes and swamp monsters, and you got to go get, your stuff at the UPS store. And that's never fun, because everyone at the UPS store is always like mad, or they want to say like they don't got their package. It's like, can we just make this simple? And same with the DMV. The DMV is kind of like that too, because you just sit there and you're getting your license and everyone's in a bad mood. Nobody wants to be there. There's never really been one person who ever wants to be there. Even when I was 16, I didn't even want to be there. I was getting my license and I was getting freedom, and I still didn't want to be at the DMV. And that just goes to show it's just not fun. So last episode we left off on talking about the Ed and Eddie conspiracy, and I thought about it, and I kind of covered it. And that's basically the Ed and Eddie conspiracy continued, was basically just all the kids that are in the show are in purgatory, and basically means they're stuck in a time of where they were when they died, and they had to do that. Like I was saying, Ralph was, he got killed by a cow, and then Eddie was from the Depression, and he was trying to scam people to get money, and it just goes down the line. And then there was like that Angie, I think was her name, was a hippie girl, like kind of like hippie like, and it really fits the theme. And the thing is about conspiracy theories is that could totally just not be it. Conspiracy theories could just be a story, and that's kind of what it means. And a lot of people look really into conspiracy theories and really believe them, and I can see why, because people put a lot of ideas and thought and love and everything into them, but in reality they are just kind of just a story, and you got to remember that. So I was reading some conspiracy theories, and I was watching this K-Mac Time guy on YouTube. I think it's K-Mac or K-Jack or something like that, and he does cartoon conspiracy theories, and I really love cartoons, and I clicked on the regular show one, and I was scrolling through comments, because when I'm listening to a video, I'm sometimes just looking at the comments, and some guy talked about the regular show conspiracy, and I thought it was really interesting, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So the regular show conspiracy some guy had was that, according to a pasta thread, or it's something like that, and he said this guy before he died had two things in mind, and Mordecai was his positive self, and Rigby was his side that wanted to like hurt himself. And all the characters in the show represented something in his life. Like Benson was his father, who was always angry at him and was just pissed off and would make him do all these things, and would only show love when he would do like chores for him. And the reason he was a gumball was because that was the only gift his dad would give him, would be gumballs. And Skips was his older brother, who he looked up to. He's this big, strong guy. And Mordecai was this, or not Mordecai, Margaret was this girl I think his brother was dating or something like that. And Pops was like his grandpa. But anything, I thought it was really interesting, because you could really look deep in this stuff like that. So that is the regular show conspiracy. I can't, I don't own the rights to that conspiracy theory at all. But it's really interesting. I was watching some more cartoons. I was watching Game of Zones, which is basically Game of Thrones for basketball. And that was really cool. They gave a shout out to my Sonics, save our Sonics too. Ever since our Sonics left us, I haven't really been the same, but I'm feeling a little bit better today after I'm getting on the mic and talking to you guys. And, I just really want my Sonics to be saved. So what do we got here? I actually wrote my stuff on my hand today. Whoop, whoop. So I can kind of see what we're doing here. I was in like a little tussle argument with my girlfriend, and this is like love, or you really like someone when or actually, yeah, you know them so well and you love them so much, and you guys are, fighting around, tickling each other or whatever, like actually just tickling each other, nothing more than that, in this scenario. And, she was, all right, well, I'm going to go do this. And then she's like, got up sassy, like, and ripped my sock off. Man, you're at your last straw when you want to just rip someone's sock off. You're like, fuck you. And you just kind of take their sock off and throw it at them. I hate it when people rip my socks off. You know what I mean? I don't have the nicest feet in the world. And Quinna knows that. And shout out to Quinna Hamby. She's amazing. And I know she's probably listening to this. And I hope she is a little bit flattered about that. Because that was a big moment. Rip someone's sock off like that. And when I was younger, me and my brother would fight around all the time, and he'd be like, "Yeah, bro, can you turn off my light?" And I'd be like, "No, fuck you." He's like, "Come on, just do it." And I'd be like, "All right, fine." And then I rip his sock off, just to be a dick, or I rip his blanket off. Oh man, ripping someone's blanket off in the morning. That is basically like the ultimate fuck you. My mom was really good at that. She would, she'd wake us up in the morning for school, and we wouldn't get up, and she'd rip our blankets off, and we'd have to get up after that. And a lot of people, say, "Well, I just sleep naked, so my parents stopped doing that." And that's a good thing. I never really thought of that, but I didn't really want my mom to see me naked. It was just, that's a private area. And I don't know. I think sometimes in the back of my mind, I didn't mind it when my mom would rip my blankets off like that because I'd get up. But if anyone else did it, like some of my cousins do it sometimes, or my brother, that's hands. If you rip my blanket off in the morning to get me to get up and do something, it's hands. If you're not my mom, it's hands. Because that stuff, or I just start dying of laughter because it's so funny. Because it's like it's a universal, fuck you, And it's really cool, and it's just one of those things that happens, And another thing that I feel like happens a lot is, what is people's obsession with chicken nuggets and fries? Are we still 10 years old where that is the only thing that you like? Because everyone, I see on Twitter, and all of a sudden it's like, I only like chicken nuggets and fries, or chicken tenders and fries when I go places. Have we still not grown up past that palate yet? How about a salad? How about a steak? How about some fish? How about some quinoa? Or how about some fucking raspberries? What is the obsession with chicken tenders? Don't get me wrong, I love chicken tenders just as much as you probably do, but why are they such like a, oh man, I just really need chicken tenders right now? Like, grow the fuck up. Order a steak. You know what I mean? I don't get everyone's obsession with them. Was it just a easy food for you to get at the kids menu when you'd go to a restaurant and you were picky? You go to a Chinese restaurant, and you don't want the wonton soup, but you want the chicken tenders. They got that on the kids menu. Is that because you were picky as a kid? I think it is. I think I'm onto something. I still didn't figure out the answer of why Roberts, don't, why Roberts eventually go to Bob. It was weird because, I was talking to him about my bro Rob, and I was like, oh yeah, Rob, and then I don't remember if it was my grandpa or my grandma or my nana that said, oh, Bob? No, it's like, what? I don't get how that works. I really don't. And don't think I forgot about the Super Bowl not playing the Bubble Bowl song from SpongeBob. That little teaser they gave us, the little 2-second teaser before Travis Scott came on. Don't think I forgot about that. Because we were told we were going to get more SpongeBob, and we got like Squidward introducing him and like da-na-na, da-na-na, na-na, and then it was doom, 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 Astroworld or whatever. Why do they got to play us like that? I mean, we were just wondering if we can get SpongeBob, and let's be honest, one of the best halftime shows of all time is the Bubble Bowl. But if we're gonna, we're actually gonna be legit here and say what the best one is, I gotta go Prince or Michael Jackson. I really personally like the Black Eyed Peas halftime show. That is that's not a common thing, but I definitely did like it a lot. And I think I liked it just because it was like Usher came out, Slash was there, Black Eyed Peas was just killing it at the time. Fergie was out there dancing, kind of like dancing with Slash. That was cool. Usher came in from the ceiling. Like, you can't top that, I think, unless you're Prince and you're playing Purple Rain and it starts raining. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo. Like that. That's what Purple Rain sounded like. Imagine in the rain in the background, and that was Prince, singing it all. And there was an interview about that, and it talked about, Prince, and they're like, hey, Prince, we want to warn you before you go on, next week, is that it's forecasted to rain that days, so you should probably, plan accordingly, and do you want to have a tent over you or whatever? And Prince said, can you make it rain harder? Oh, that's baller. That's baller. Prince was a baller. Let's just be honest. He definitely was gaming, dude. He's baller. Been watching The Last Dance too. That's a pretty good show. Michael Jordan was a baller, actually a baller. What else do we got here? Oh yeah, I was taking some pictures the other day, and just of a sunset, just being kind of basic like that. And when you zoom in on things, you never realize how shaky your hands are until you slightly zoom a bit. Yeah. You zoom in a little bit, and you're moving like this. I'll be like, oh yeah, let me zoom in. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I need to drink some more water, maybe some deep breaths, maybe some meditation. But I wonder sometimes if I am not drinking enough water. I mean, because it says, you're supposed to have 8 glasses a day, and not many people get 8 glasses a day in. Some people will get a Snapple halfway through the day and not want the rest of the water, or maybe they get a Gatorade or a 7-Up. Because, and then there's the thing that some people don't like tap water, and then there's some people who like the Seltzer water. I personally have never really been a Seltzer water fan because I'd rather have the regular water. I feel like the regular water hydrates me more. So it's not necessarily like I don't like Seltzer water. I would just prefer regular water. And Seltzer water to me just, there's too much going on. It's like if I wanted to burp, I would go, have some Seltzer water or a soda. And there's sometimes that you want to burp, maybe you got something stuck in your throat, or I don't know, maybe you want to win a burp contest with your friends, and that's really cool. And I just walk right by the LaCroix every time I go to the store. And some people stop and look at it, and they want to see the flavors. And the thing is with LaCroix, to me personally, is every flavor tastes the same. It's kind of like Skittles. Skittles are just different colors that make you think they, taste different. You have all the color Skittles. You have the grape one and the green one and all that. They're the same. Obviously the same thing is for M&Ms. They're all just colored different. Because could you imagine? I don't even think M&M would be the M&M company would not be as successful if they just had M&Ms that were all the same color. To me, I think it's cool having them all little colors, and that's why all things are pretty fluorescent. If you notice when you go into a grocery store and the beer aisle is really fluorescent and has every colors, and it makes drinking look really cool, that's on purpose. They want you to be like, whoa, this is cool. They want you to go check it out. And they have these strong accent colors, complementary colors. They have people who study psychology of what colors do best, and maybe sometimes some of them are just like just their favorite color of the guys who made the beer, but most of the time they really, really think about this stuff. Like Walmart used to be red and then realized that, most successful companies are blue. That isn't cited or isn't backed up by anything, but I believe that is why. Because a majority of blue companies majority of the Fortune 500 companies are blue. You got Chevron, you got Walmart, you got Facebook, you got AT&T, you got, what else is blue? DirecTV is also blue. Twitter is blue. But yeah, you see those, and then we go red. You got Coca-Cola, you got Netflix. I guess Chipotle's red. Wendy's, McDonald's is also red and yellow. Green, you got like Hulu, you got Waste Management, you got Subway. Yeah. I'm personally not a fan of Subway's colors. I think that the new cups kind of look like Waste Management cups, like the green and the yellow look. And I'm not saying Waste Management owns the colors to green and yellow, because they don't, but it almost looks like they use the same exact hex color code for their drinks. And I went to a school that was green and, like, it was dark green and white, and I didn't like it as much as the other schools I went to, and they were red. And if you haven't noticed by now, my favorite color is red. I have 2 phones that are red. I go to a school that is red. I like to wear red. And yeah. I think red just symbolizes a lot of things. Mainly like blood, I think, is the coolest thing about it. Like, it just reminds me of like living and healthiness. And sometimes red does remind me of negative in the bank, because when they say I go to my bank statement and it says minus $24 from a check or something, it shows it as red as it's subtracting. So that kind of gets to me sometimes. And that's why, green's also really good. And green's the color of our military. It's the color of the grass. So green has a really powerful color too. But I really, really like red. What's your favorite color? Is your favorite color like a purple? Think about what your favorite color is to you. And think about what businesses are that color. And, just think about that kind of stuff, because it's kind of cool stuff to know. I think I should know more red companies. Verizon is one. If you look at a Sorry game board, you could choose the color red. Indiana State Avenue, St. James Place. Those are the Monopoly board pieces. And there's one more I'm missing. I never really get the red spaces in Monopoly, though. No. If you want to win a Monopoly, you got to get the orange spaces, because mathematically that is the most common place to land. And the most common numbers to roll in Monopoly are 6, 7, and 8, just with the odds of the dice. So say you go to jail, and there's like 4 cards that make you can go to jail. And then there's the space that makes you go to jail, and then you can also go to jail if you roll doubles 3 times. So there's a lot of possibilities to go to jail throughout the whole game. And if you monopolize, like the game is Monopoly, and get orange, and if you get lucky enough to get it's purple, it's dark blue, and many versions, it's the one right before the orange, right before free parking, and right after jail, visiting jail. If they're in jail and they roll a 7 or 6, because you need to roll doubles to get out, or you need to pay $50 to get out, you land there, and then say you have a hotel there, they're screwed. If you can get the orange and red, you're in a good spot too. So next time you guys are playing Monopoly, try to get the orange spaces and the red spaces, because they're the most commonly landed on spaces, and they have the best real estate in the game. As for the green ones, I think those are the least common landed on, and those are the ones right before Boardwalk. I have seen people win with every piece, with every color set, except for the brown ones. The brown ones are always like a cherry on top. But those do help if someone gets go money and like, and they go buy it and they don't get their go money because they have to give you that $250 or $450 if you have hotels on it. And then railroads are always clutch too. If it were up to me and I got to choose one to start out with, I'd choose orange and I would choose the railroads. And utilities. Utilities are really clutch too, especially when you own both pieces. It's times 10. So say someone rolls a 12 and they land on your utility and you own waterworks and electric company, it's times 10, so they owe you $120, and that adds up. And there's parts of the game where you're like, oh, this is nothing, and then it starts adding up. When you start out like $300 and you have to pay $120, it's not fun, especially if you have to go around and dodge your houses or hotels. I love board games. Board games are super fun, and a lot of people like to make the pun. It's like, oh, you only play them because you're bored. Ha ha. Boo. If you make a dumb joke like that, just don't even play the board game. Go sit on your phone. And boomers like to get all mad, like, oh, you guys look at it as your phones when you guys are, at the restaurants. How about we look at some pictures of you guys in the 50s when your face was just stuck in the newspaper? How about we do that? Didn't think of that, huh? Oh, you guys are always on your phone. What about you? You're reading all the comics in the newspaper, not talking to the person in front of you. I could see many times that people would be in a movie reading their newspaper, not even talking to the person in front of them, and I couldn't even see your face. How about that? Yeah. Who's talking now, boomers? Okay, boomer. No, boomers are cool. That's just what they get. You dish it, you got to be able to take it. It's just how it goes. What else has been going on? Been staying with, my girlfriend lately. That's been really cool. We've been hanging out. Just having a great time taking pictures and shit. Walking around. What else have we been doing? A lot of things. What have you been doing, though? Because I'm going crazy without not being able to work out. And I miss gaming a lot, so I wish I could just game wherever I'm at, but sometimes it's hard to game when you're busy, and that's just with anything. I haven't started my animation stuff yet. I need to start that now, and I need to get the stand-up going. So we got 7 minutes left before I like to call it. So let's do one good story, and let's see if I could figure out one long good story for you guys. Fuck. It's hard to just think of them on the spot, and I usually try to write them down. What was I doing? Oh, okay. Yeah, so in elementary school, I would do, we would go to assemblies a lot. And assembly is basically, you just go and watch. Say we had like a guest speaker for the whole school, and they would come and talk to all of us, and, that's what they would do. So we had a long one. It wasn't like the organ lady. It wasn't someone cool, and it wasn't Ned the yo-yo guy. It was just some regular speaker talking about like physical education. Like, yo, you guys should be active. I'm like, already am, bro. We got recess 3 times a week, so I'm not listening. So he came out and he started talking, and my buddy Austin at the time dared me. He's all, Dom, let's see who can hold the amount of water in their mouth the longest. So like we got the whole line of us, like us bros at the time, is like Austin, Matt, who else was there? I think Rage was there, and we would all sit there and we'd drink it, and we sat there in the assembly and just tried to hold it in our mouth. And we can't get up during the assembly. They usually tell you like you can, but it's only for emergencies only at the time, and we were little kids, so they didn't want us running around the school. So we had this water in our mouth for like, yeah, give me a sec. So yeah, my grandpa just told me. But I was totally sitting there with the water in my mouth, and it was like an hour later, and I still had it. And when you have water in your mouth, your mouth like gets big. Your saliva starts collecting in it, and I won. So yeah, I mean, I was able to win that. Wasn't my proudest moment. And then I used to be pretty good at tetherball. I remember I beat there's this good guy named Michael. I don't want to say his last name, but Michael was really good at tetherball, and I ended up beating him. And that was I knew I had a talent. Tetherball is really fun. I was like, I started off looking like Napoleon Dynamite, really goofball like, playing alone. But you know what? I was good. And people who, we took it real serious. Tetherball was really a serious thing in elementary school because we had rope, we had holding, we had line violation, and people would call you out because there's 7 people waiting and they really want to get their turn in, so they're waiting to call you out. Rope, rope, rope. People would start saying that, or the holding, and it was just, and I got good enough to that part, I wasn't holding and I wasn't crossing the line, and that was fun. I really miss those times. And recess was just, so we had like the native group at our school. A lot of us native kids, me and my cousin Darian, would always try to play any sport we could. And they told us that we couldn't play basketball at the school. And we had 2 basketball hoops, and we loved basketball so much. And we were just dribbling and trying to play each other, and recess teachers came, hey, no, you can't play. It's too competitive. We don't want anyone getting mad. So we would try to like low-key play a game, and we'd get in trouble. Also, one time we got kicked out of playing Foursquare. We couldn't play soccer because the white kids would get really mad because we stole the field from them, and we would do our own thing. We played this game where it's like we played jailbreak from the trees. We'd all go hide in these trees, and like you had to like lock them up in there, and like you had to like run out. And then we played kickball. Kickball we never really got in trouble playing, but like, there was so many people playing, it wasn't even fun. And then we played bump, we played horse, a lot of stuff like that, But it was really a great time, and I really miss recess. And my neck kind of hurts right now, so I think I'm going to cut it off a little early just because my neck hurts a little bit. So thank you guys for listening. And I hope everyone's doing great. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram, Dominick__Joseph, Dom Joseph Podcast. DJP Clips is now a new thing on YouTube. Go check out that. That is basically just every episode cut down into little, split segments, and they're a lot more easier for people to find. And a lot more people have 2 minutes to spare rather than half hour or even an hour. If you want to be on the show, let me know. Call in to 425-320-3641. And thank you guys so much for listening, and have a fantastic day, yo. Yeah.